if someone can explain this, I don't understand. Non-binary identities can fall under the transgender umbrella. I am a Mexican. My family is very traditional as well. My dad really do not support the LGBTQ plus community. Not even the L or G part of it. Like, he doesn't get it. He says that it is completely wrong. Why I think I got to be supportive of these people is the internet. I've seen people's testimonies, people talking about what they feel and how they've gone through all of these crazy, hateful things. And that's why I support people. Because for me, I like other people to be happy. So why are we hating on these? It makes no sense to me why you would not support them. Like, even if you don't understand, like these non-binary things, like, oh my god, I don't know what the heck is going on. I definitely need to do more research on these because I don't understand these. And mainly I think I have to go to YouTube and just see people talking about these so that I understand their point of view and how they feel and how they look at things. So I'm gonna do that for sure. So yes, I think that the important thing is that I am getting educated and I'm trying. I think that is the main thing with us straight people to just like be a little bit more open-minded about this because it is important. Welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be talking about the LGBTQ plus community, specifically their flags. I am straight. I do want to put that out first. I am straight, ally, I support you guys, and I think I need to read more with LGBTQ plus representation. I was looking through my Goodreads read books, and it's not a complete list because in past years I have not been really good at tracking my reading. But I do have to say that I do not have books there with or enough books there with LGBTQ plus representation. I think the main reason why is my own fault because I don't do this exactly, which is research and trying to see the books that I just want to read because I want to get more educated myself. I think I'm really stupid when it comes to this. When J.K. Rowling was posting all of those tweets, I was really not understanding anything of what was going on. I read and reread the tweets like a million times. I was just reading and rereading and I was just not understanding what she was saying at all. And then I had to ask someone that was mad about it and I was like, hey, I read these like a million times. I still don't know what the heck she is talking about. Like, I don't understand what she is even saying. And they told me what the gist of it was about, and I was like, oh my god, this cannot be happening, especially from someone that you expect so much from. Things like that happen all the time where people would say something and then the LGBTQ plus community would get mad because it's offensive what they are saying and it invalidates someone's existence basically. And obviously, of course, you're going to be upset and you're going to be trying to tell people about it because it is an important thing to talk about. And I've always been scared to go out there because I do consider myself to be extremely stupid and ignorant in the subject, and I never want to say something that would upset anyone or that would make someone feel bad about themselves. So I do want to say that up front here that this is not the case for me. This video is for educational purposes, self-educational purposes mostly, and also to have a curated TBR list that has more LGBTQ plus representation on them. I do think that a lot of the times when we have books recommended to us here on BookTube and Goodreads and different other places, we don't have enough LGBTQ plus books because a lot of the publishers put out books that have more straight characters in them or straight authors in them. I don't think this is publishers' fault. I think it is mainly because we consumers demand more of those books, and that has to change. So I do think that it is changing a little bit, especially this month because it is Pride Month, but I do think that we need to put more effort into requesting more of these books in an everyday life. So I want to start looking at the flags. I also do want to say that whenever people say something stupid about it, I think that most of the times, a lot of the times, all the times, it is pretty much just common sense what you are saying and what you are talking about. Like, use your morality guide and just, when you are saying something about these topics, make sure that it aligns with your moral beliefs. That's what I've noticed, and that's why I don't think I am afraid anymore to say what I believe in, because it is common sense. This actually appeared, like, if you just put LGBTQ, it will tell you the flags. I like this one because underneath it says what the flags are. It's a Facebook post, and it's nice because it has like a little comment on every single one of them. So it has like what the term means basically. So I'm gonna post these down below if you want to take a look at the one that I found. This is the one where I think has more flags. So the idea of this is to go through the flags, learn their meaning, like what does this flag represents, the meaning of that, and then find a book with representation of that flag in the characters or author. And then just like make a list for me to have a TBR to read in like the next year or so. Okay, so number one flag is the gay flag, the rainbow one. I love these because I love rainbows. But yeah, this is the gay flag. Everyone knows about these. Directs sexual desire towards another same sex, commonly denoted to a man. For this one, I'm gonna pick a book that I'm actually reading right now. I'm about halfway through it. It's Maurice by E.M. Forster. At first, I thought the gay aspects were going to be really subtle, but it goes all out, and the main theme about the book is exactly the sexuality of Maurice. It is a classic book, so seeing someone talk about this at that time is kind of really interesting, because obviously if you were to talk about it back then, it would have been awful for this author. It would have considered a sin and super disgusting and etc, etc, etc. He actually didn't publish this while he was alive. He didn't want to post these for obvious reasons. He would have been burned at the stake pretty much. So this was published after he was dead, and it has amazing topics. It talks about religion, especially back then. The religion was in there, even though yesterday we still have that problem. So it talks a little bit about that, and just also talks about how he discovered that from a very young age. So if you want a bit of an understanding of what gay people go through, I think this is a good book to start. So I'm gonna say that's gonna be my book for that. The next one that we have is the bisexual flag. This is really pretty because it has three really pretty girls. Anyway, also a really well-known person who is sexually attracted to both men and women. Let's find books. Oh, The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I actually read that one, and I think it's quite a fun book to read. I like the characters. If you want to read these, definitely go for the audiobook. But I want another one. This one sounds cool. I like the cover with the pink hair. Queens of Geek by Wilde. I'm gonna put that down. You can literally just search like books with bisexual characters, and it will give you a list. So we will see if there's enough representation of these. I do think that bisexual, obviously asexual individual who is not sexually attracted to either men or women. I don't think I have ever read any books with asexual characters actually. It says that Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire, which is a book that I want to read, has asexual characters, but also Let's Talk About Love has a beautiful cover by Kann. It has a beautiful title, so I'm gonna put that down. Gender fluid, gender which varies over time. They identify themselves as male, female, neutroids, or any other non-binary identity or any combination of identities at any time. Books with gender fluid characters. There are a couple of them. There are a ton of them. That is really nice. Again, I know that there is book with representation of these, but I haven't read them. I haven't heard enough from them as well. I do think that we need to put this more in there. I don't want anything, I don't like reading romance, but I guess it's like not an option if I want to be reading LGBTQ. So maybe I should get some romance in there. Sometimes I like reading romance books, but most of the time I just like, this one has a cool cover and it looks more like a fantasy book, which is my thing. If it has some representation, then that's even better. This one is called Mask of Shadows by Linsey. If you have any recommendations, obviously let me know. Pansexual, an individual that is sexually attracted to all gender. For this one, ooh, there's a lot of cool, oh, there's a vampire one. Should I read the vampire one? I am literally just judging every book by the cover, which is really bad. I kind of want to read the vampire one. Is that a bad thing? A Vampire's Redemption by Casey Wolfe. Your last name is Wolfe or Wolfe. I don't know how you pronounce that. That's kind of really cool. I'm gonna put that one down. I don't know if I should feel bad about still like reading vampires. I'm gonna read vampires, I don't care. Genderqueer, person who feels that his/her gender identities does not fit into the socially constructed norms associated with his/her biological sex. These books are the same ones that when I search for gender fluid. But I do think that it is weird that we don't have that distinction. When I Google that, the same thing pops up, like the same books pop up. I like this one. Brooklyn Burning by Steve Brezenoff. Oh, this one sounds nice. I'm gonna read this one. Transgender. Relating to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender does not correspond with their birth sex. Okay, yes. I don't think I've ever read any book with transgender characters. I've also noticed that when I search for them, they pop up like with main characters. So books with transgender, I was just gonna say characters, and it changed it to books with transgender main characters. I guess that is a problem, that you have the representation but it's not the main character, it's just like extras or the friends in their book, I guess. Oh yes, I've been wanting to read this one, George by Alex Gino, because I've seen it in several booktube channels talking about it and recommended it, so I am going to go for that one. Intersexual, person who is born with a combination of male and female biological characteristics such as chromosomes or genitals that is unable to assign their sex as distinctly male or female. There's one that sounds like it's going to be a nice educational read for me. This one is Male Sex by Jeffrey Eugenides. Jesus, I don't know how to pronounce that one. Polysexual, attraction to some gender but not all possible genders. This is not even putting like, not a lot of people have been searching for this one. There's not a ton of polysexual representation like I can see. So I guess this is going to be a bit of a trouble to find. If you have any recommendation for polysexual, books with polysexual characters, let me know, because this is not telling me any books with that. That is so bizarre. A romantic, person who experience little or no romantic to others. They are often with friendship. This one has a cool title, 7 Ways We Lie. This sounds like a cool thing. I guess there's like 7 teenagers and each one of them represents like a deadly sin. That sounds like a cool thing to read, so I'm gonna read that one. So I'm gonna finish curating my list. So I'm gonna go search for these because there are a lot that I feel are pretty similar, and when I search for them, they bring the same books in as if they were the same thing. I do hope to have like a bit of an update for you guys while I'll go through these and read them and have my thoughts on them. Obviously, I cannot tell you if the representation is accurate. I have not read them. Also, I'm straight, so I think if you want to know if this is an actual representation, you have to go ask someone from the LGBT community their thoughts on it. I just honestly want to be able to incorporate this in my reading so that publishing companies, authors, etc. get more deals. Would be nice to have authors with more deals on these.